The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the ECAT staff or board of directors.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. It's the Ron Van Dam Show.
Hold on tight, things can get a bit weird, if you like that sort of thing.
Hey, welcome to the program. Oh my God, what are you doing here? Thanks for coming. Not that you had to go anywhere. You can just sit on a couch and watch this. Thank me for coming here into this studio once a week. For purposes of introduction, my name is Bob Wiskowski, and I have been doing radio for a little over 30 years. And I still do it on some syndicated stations, but now because of this internet stuff, they call it a podcast. I call it internet radio. I still do this every single weekday, and that's it. You can listen to me every weekday, a new episode, newenglandbroadcasting.com or Ron Van Dam. Just Google my name, Ron Van Dam Show, whatever. You can go on the platforms and do the same search to find me on the things, the Amazon Music, the Stitcher, the Pandora Music, not the jewelry company, the music thing, iTunes, iHeartRadio, I'm on them, Sound crap, whatever that's called. I'm on them all. So join me for that. I talk about things that bother all of us, except apparently for you. So that's it. That's the end of it. The internet radio part of it, we are hitting 2,800 episodes, 2,800 of these half-hour shows. I don't know what to say about that. On one hand, I'm proud. On the other hand, it's like, well, what the hell are you doing here? Okay. Anyway, how are you? Good to be with you. I always like to start the show by, saying things that sweeten you up to the point where you'll like me more, because we have to set up some type of this technological relationship, like Facebook. You have to be my Facebook friend, even though I don't know who you are. So you got to do that. So I say nice things about you, like, oh, you look especially nice today. Like, you're a vision of beauty, both inside and out. You are a successful, wonderful person. Everybody wishes they could be like you. You are amazing. Nothing compares to you. That was a song, Sinead O'Connor. Am I right? Anyway, that's it. Okay, fine. Here's a rule. Here's a rule for you, and most people don't follow it. When you're seeing somebody in the street or outside of a store and you haven't seen them in weeks or maybe a year or something, here's what you do. There are two things that you do, and they're both so phony it's not possible. And when you say these things to me, I feel like saying to you, yeah, just cut that out. Stop lying to me. Here's what they do. I walk up to people, they walk up to me and, Ron, how are you doing? It's been so long. Yes, it has been a long time. It's funny, Ron. I was just thinking about you. Oh my God, don't do that. There's no way that on this amazing span of time that we haven't seen or talked to each other, all of a sudden, just the other day, you were thinking about me. What an amazing coincidence this is. All of a sudden, there you are. And it was only a day or two ago. I was thinking about you. I was washing the dishes, and I thought, Ron, oh my God. So if I respond by saying, "Oh, really?" then I'm agreeing that I'm buying your crap. So I just I do what I do, and I go, oh. Because I'm not going to respond by saying, it's funny that you were thinking about me after all this time. You know what's even funnier? I was thinking about you thinking about me. Now that's a real coincidence, and that's a lie. The other thing is when people say, hey, how you doing? You're not supposed to answer. It is not a question. It's rhetorical. You're not supposed to answer. If you do answer, you go, I'm okay, I'm good. And it's over. You're done. But there are some people that don't understand that that's just a greeting. It doesn't really mean that we care about how you're doing. I remember, and I don't do that anymore because of what happened here. I have a friend who basically has what I call verbal diarrhea, which means that they don't stop talking at all. Once they open up the hole of mouth, it just doesn't stop flowing out. Thus, the comparison to the anal disease that I'm referring to. So I walked up to this person and go, hey, how you doing? And they respond by saying, well, last week I went to this play. It wasn't very good, but we stayed through the whole thing, but it wasn't really good. The music was fine, but the lyrics were ridiculous, and I didn't quite understand it. So we're sitting through the whole thing. After that, we go out to dinner. I think I had the spaghetti and meatballs, although I gave my wife a couple of my meatballs, so I was down to one meatball. I was a little upset about that, but she likes meatballs, and I always, I make her happy, happy wife, happy life, so I do that. And then the salad came, and it was wonderful. The dressing was unbelievable. I never had it before. It's like an Italian dressing, but it wasn't Italian. A little bit Italian, maybe a little Greek in there. I have no idea. It's like a Mediterranean kind of thing. So I'm eating it with my fork, and it gets on my clothes. And I know, how am I going to get the stain out of my shirt here? Because that's like oil in the dressing, right? That's hard to get out. So I bring it home, and I start soaking in all kinds of things, soaking in like soap and water and detergent and all that kind of stuff. And I put in it doesn't come out. Stain doesn't come out. So now I don't know what to do. I got to throw the shirt out. Well, I got to throw the shirt out. Which I should sue the restaurant, something like that. So after that, we had dessert. Dessert was really, really good. Some kind of puffy Neapolitan kind of thing. It was a dessert. It was like a creamy kind of thing, a little bit of chocolate sauce on it, and put a cherry on top. It was really wonderful, but I don't like sweet things. I'm not supposed to have sweet things because I'm pre-diabetic, so I don't really go for that stuff. But I wanted to have it because it looked really good in the menu. How many times? I said to myself, how many times do you go to a restaurant and you got the menu in front of you and you don't want to eat it? Then you have to go home, and then I got to go something, and I got to worry about that. And then I got to be checked, maybe I had a large spike or something like that, so it's no good. So then I go home, and the cat throws up all over the floor. So I got to clean up the throw up, which is ironic because I just did dinner and I'm sitting there and I'm cleaning up the. By the way, I'm fine. Don't ask people how they're doing. Oh, they don't. They tell you. That wasn't the idea. It's just something you say. I don't really. A, I don't care, and B, I don't care, and C, I don't care, and I'll throw D in. I really don't care. But that's the way it's supposed to go. You have to know how to do the small talk thing. It's important in life because all there is small talk. There really isn't anything else. In the long run, small talk that turns into long talk really should be small talk after we were thinking about it. Oh my God, I was thinking about you just yesterday. Unbelievable. And they expect you to go to actually believe what they're saying. Oh, really? Oh, you were thinking about me? Really? There's no reason at all you're thinking about me. Yeah, it's amazing. Isn't it amazing, Ron? Anyway. I wish that I could say what I really feel sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes I do. Like when someone's talking way too much, and it's a conversation, but they don't involve you in the conversation. They don't say something and then say to you, and how do you feel about that? Did that ever happen to you? What's your opinion on that? That's a conversation. But some people, they think a conversation is talking at you continually. And at that point, you should be able to say, okay, that's enough. And it would end. And they go, oh okay. See you next time. Okay, remember, that was enough. It's a wonderful thing. I wanted to be a psychiatrist or a psychologist when I was going to grow up, and I didn't. But I didn't want to hear other people's problems. It's the last thing I wanted to do is hear other people's problems. But what I did like about that profession is at the end of an hour, you can actually say to the person, I'm sorry, our time is up. Oh my God. You can even even if you don't have a wristwatch on, you just point to your wrist and symbolically go, up, our time is up. What a wonderful luxury that would be in real life, wouldn't it? When the subject matter is getting too stale and they're really boring you with their conversation or their speech, I should say, their TED Talk. Wouldn't it be great if all of a sudden you go, up, 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 up. I'm sorry, our time is up. Yeah, but it doesn't work out like that. Or just say, well, that'll be enough. Okay, you've talked for a period of time, and that will be enough. Thank you very much. Wouldn't that be great? That'd be great. But you can't do that because it hurts other people's feelings. We spend so much time in our lives avoiding the hurt of other people. Most of us do that. Then there are insensitive people who don't even get it. They don't even know any of this. They're not self-aware of the fact that they talk way too much, and they don't really care. If you're talking a lot and to somebody and they don't respond, they just sit there and listen, at a point you've got to realize they're not listening because they're interested. They're listening because they're just letting you go on and on and on. But I'm sorry, our time is up. All right. Social media. I know what you're going to say. Social media, it's crazy. I don't, I used to, when someone posted something, I used to just sometimes, because I was incredibly bored, I would read the comments, and no matter what the subject matter is, by the time you got down to the fourth or fifth comment, it became political. And when Obama was president, people were doing this even more. Somehow, things that had nothing to do with Obama whatsoever, 4 or 5 comments down into the comment section, they bring Obama into it. It had nothing to do with him at all. The restaurant is open only until 8 o'clock, so we're going to have to go somewhere else. And the next comment would be, yeah, they really should stay out later because they could get a lot more business. They really should. And the comment after that, yeah, you're right. The food isn't great, but they should have some entertainment that would bring more people in. And you go down another few comments and they'd say, yeah, Obama's to blame for that. It was, poor Obama. He was a social media angry target for nothing. It was on politics, man. Who would want to go into politics now? Who would want to? It's an evil, degrading place to be, where if somebody loves you, there's also a lot of people that want to destroy you. I mean, not that they just don't like you, they want you destroyed. Politics? No way. No way. You better not say anything against Trump, because then he'll go after you with the militia, and all his political opponents and those who did not revere him shall be persecuted. His words, not mine. Okay. I'm not kidding. I'm not even kidding. All right, what time of year is this? Quick. That's right, it's the fall. It just turned the fall. Now, I don't know when you're watching this. This station used to do like repeats of shows that were like 4 years old, and I'd be talking about something that happened 4 years ago, and people would say, wow, he's really behind the times. No, they're airing an old show is what they're doing. They don't seem to do that anymore. They keep it rather topical. This is the first week of October or somewhere around there. And this is my favorite month of the entire year. If you give me 12 months, if you just gave me 12 months to the year, I would choose October as being my favorite. And it's because it just is. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. Goldilocks says it's just right. Yeah, I love that. You can sit outside. You're not too cold. Maybe a light jacket. Maybe a light jacket. Maybe a light jacket. But that's it. Yeah, it's so pleasant. And the leaves turning different colors. Ooh, right? Ooh. All the different colors. It's so colorful because the leaves turn colors. And then the leaves fall off and you just got the spindly branches left. And I think that's fantastic. Because things are happening, you see. In nature, things are happening. There's things to look at. If you're married, I think I talked about this last week. I don't remember what I talked about last week, to be honest with you. If you're married, your spouse, usually of the female variety, will say, I love the fall. Let's get in the car and drive up north and watch the leaves change color. Well, if you wait long enough, they'll change color here. No, I want to go north and see them change color. Okay, happy wife, happy life, sure. And while we're up there watching the leaves change color, we'll just sit there for hours and watch them change. I don't think it works that way. Just shut up and do what I tell you. While we're up there going north watching the leaves change color, let's get out of the car and pick some apples. They sell them in the stores now. You don't have to pick them yourself. I know. I did talk about this last week. Now I remember. But men, you see them walking through the orchard. They just look like, oh, God. Oh, is this purgatory or what? And the females are they're having a great time with the wicker basket and picking the apples and stuff. They love that stuff. That's the difference between men and women. Apple picking. I think that's the only way. I don't care about the physical anatomy thing. I don't care about that. Well, I do, but I don't. But it's the apple picking. That's what separates the boys from the girls. Okay, that's not true. You know that. I'm only kidding. But I love the fall. I love the autumnal season. I think it's fantastic. Again, it's a very comfortable time of year. The little animals come out. In the summer, it's the bugs. It's the gnats, it's the mosquitoes, it's the bees, it's the things that want to basically kill you. It's awful. But in the fall, it's the bunnies, and a couple of deer come by, and maybe some turkeys crossing the road. Turkeys love to cross the road. Not the kind that you eat, the kind that you look at crossing the road. They're little families, man. They're little families. But it's an adorable time of year. It really is wonderful. The birds are just so nice and happy and stuff. And I get to use my favorite piece of lawn equipment. Now, looking at me, you might say, Ron, you don't deal with equipment of any sort, do you? Well, no, you're right, I don't. But there's one tool that I do use that I love. And I use it even if I don't have to. I think of ways to use it. And that is the leaf blower. Oh, my God. I was just thinking about the leaf blower the other day. No, you weren't. All right, I wasn't. I have a leaf blower that, and I'm not bragging, I have a leaf blower that has a battery thing. You charge the battery and you put it in the back of the leaf blower thing. And so you don't have to fill it with gasoline. You don't have to plug it in. It's this battery thing is wonderful. It doesn't work great with electric cars, but for leaf blowers, it's a wonderful thing. So I turn the thing on and it makes that uproarious motor sound. Oh, who doesn't love that? Who doesn't love the sound of a motor in your hands doing stuff? And mine has 2 speeds, speed 1 and speed 2. And the higher the speed, the more suction you get on that blower. But it doesn't suck, it blows. I don't know what I just said, but it's somewhat humorous. But I don't know how. It doesn't suck, it just blows. Okay. But I can blow stuff around, and I love that power. That's raw power, being able to blow stuff. I like vacuum cleaners. It's just vacuum cleaners never work. And that's a sucking motion. I don't want to suck things in because then I have to clean out what I sucked in. When I use a blower, a leaf blower, then I'm blowing it away. There's nothing being contained that I have to deal with. It's just I can just blow it to eternity until I get to eternity and still blow it. And it's just and it cleans things off like you wouldn't believe. And it gets rid of leaves, which I guess is the original idea. But I blow other stuff too. If you're just tuning in now, I'm talking about leaf blowers, just to clarify. But it is my favorite piece of equipment. I use it. Sometimes I'll just stand in my backyard and turn it on and just blow like crazy. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why. It's a strange thing, but I do. Anyway, October is also Halloween, one of the stupidest holidays, but one of the most attractive stupid holidays, because human beings take a break from being themselves and they become somebody else. And I think we should do that more often. Yeah. And instead of saying, look, I want to be a witch this year. I want to be a ghost this year. I want to be Bob, my neighbor, 3 doors down. Bob. I want to be Bob this year. Ron, you can't be Bob. All right. Just thought it'd be an interesting costume. But Bob doesn't wear anything interesting. I know. I wouldn't wear anything interesting and I would be Bob. Oh, geez. And this is when the kids come to your door begging for things. We'll get into that as the Halloween thing gets closer. And then those that are obsessed with pumpkins, this is your holiday, man. Yeah, carving out that gourd. We take a large vegetable and we carve it out. We put a face in it. This is what we do. On the surface, it sounds absolutely absurd, but it's a thing. It's an actual thing. Some people put a candle inside their carved-out pumpkins. After a couple of hours, heating a former pumpkin from the inside gets a little bit smelly. But nonetheless, it's part of the holiday spirit, and kids love it because there's candy involved, and you know that the more candy kids eat, the crazier they get, the wilder they get, the more uncontrollable they are. And that's what we do for them on this holiday. We feed them that stuff. I loved it. I remember Halloween. I won't get into it now, but I remember getting I had a pillowcase. It was my pillowcase. And they would throw all kinds of stuff in my pillowcase, candies basically. And I would sneak them into the house. I had 2 bags. One bag was the bag that my parents thought that I had collected. The other bag was what I snuck upstairs to my bedroom and took it to bed with me, and I would eat candy all night. And the next morning I would be so sick. And now look at me. It's payback time is a bitch. It is. It just always is. I was just thinking about that the other day. No, you weren't. All right, I'm lying. I love the fall. Then we got the Oktoberfest, which is really the adult version of the kids' Halloween thing. Because this is when adults have an excuse to drink beer. And I got to tell you, I'm not a beer drinker. I don't like beer. It's got a bit more calories. It's carbonated. And when you reach a certain age, gas becomes more of a problem than it was before. So beer is not my thing. They try to make beer fanciful by making it different flavors. Not enough flavor. Just too much carbonation. I'm sorry. Craft beer, whatever you want to call it. I'm not a beer guy, but I like the Oktoberfest kind of idea. That I do like. That I like. I like people wearing flannel jackets, drinking beer. I think it's fantastic. And then they have that stuff that they wear there, you know, the Oktoberfest people. They wear these strange pants and hats with feathers in them. This is the way. I don't think Germans really dress this way. I think it's a German thing or Belgian. I have no idea. But I think it's fun because they dress up, and that's their way of dressing. See, Oktoberfest is when adults dress up. Halloween is when kids dress up. And that's October. That is October. October is also the gateway to the big holidays. We call them, it's the big three. It's the big three. It's Thanksgiving, Christmas. I don't count New Year's because that's not a holiday. I don't know what that is, but it's not a holiday. The next one would be Easter. You got some birthdays thrown in there. Great, fine. But I'm talking about Thanksgiving and Christmas, basically. And when I say Christmas, I'm talking about Hanukkah and all that stuff, too. Whatever your pleasure may be. So, what's my favorite holiday? Did somebody just ask me? What did you say? What's my favorite holiday? Leaf blower. Oh, Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday because it's not religious. You just sit down at a table and you eat until you can't eat no more. And then you wait a half an hour and you have some pie. I don't know how many deaths occur on Thanksgiving because of the excessive eating involved. I really don't know. But it's something to watch out for, and it's just joyous. The only problem with Thanksgiving is if you have a really large family, some people are going to come over to your house, or you're going to go to somebody else's house, and you're going to have to engage with these people that you haven't seen in well over a year since the last Thanksgiving. And what do you say? It's been a long time. What is it, last Thanksgiving? Wow. And you know, I was just thinking about you the other day. No, you weren't. Okay, never mind. And you sit down and you have turkey. That's the requirement. I think it's the only holiday where you have to have that. You can have other stuff, but you're not having Thanksgiving. And if you tell somebody you had something other than turkey for Thanksgiving, they walk away saying to themselves, that is a strange person. Can you imagine? They had roast beef on Thanksgiving. What was that? What was that? What's wrong with them? That's great. You know, you carve the turkey and you all sit down and you got the cranberry sauce and the stuffing. I love the stuffing. The stuffing's fantastic. And the turkey gravy and all that, and the beans. Yeah, oh yeah. All traditional. You don't have to make stuff up. It's all traditional. It's all spelled out for you. You can throw your little twist on those meals, but it doesn't really make any difference. It's all spelled out for you. And people, they can't wait to have the Thanksgiving meal. And it's great. And there's alcohol involved, and the adults sometimes have alcohol too. No, actually, don't ever give alcohol to your children. You're just going to pay for that in the end. And you think it puts them to sleep? Yeah, right. Then they're up all night. Don't do that. Don't do that. And by the way, it's illegal. It's illegal to do that. And the kids at Thanksgiving, they don't even eat at the big table because there's too many people involved. That's not wise. You don't want them at that table. So you set up a little card table. You don't even play cards, but you have a card table with 4 chairs. They're not in great shape, but you got them for Thanksgiving. And that's where the kids sit. And I like to put them in a different room, sometimes in a different city. And they sit, but they're bothering you through the whole meal anyway, but at least they're not sitting at the table with you. So it's an okay thing. But it's a family holiday. It's time when people get together and share their experiences and say to each other with the deepest heart that they have, with the most love that they can muster. They look at you in the eyes and they say, hey, how you doing? Well, yesterday I went to the doctor and he gave me a checkup. Now I have a little pain in my knee, but the knee isn't working really well, but it's going to be okay. I'm going to live with the knee pain. I got pain in other places. The doctor says, where else? I'm going to tell him. I told him. He asked me where else, so I tell him. I've also got, besides the knee, I got toe problems. I got my toe. I got a little fungus in the toe, and the toe isn't working real well, so I got to... All right. That'll be enough. Our time is up. Be with you next week. Until then, I wish you peace.